Hi, I'm Marty Wolf, owner and founder of Square One Health Club, and I'm bringing you yet another Square One update. This week's topic is all about all or nothing thinking. This week I'm going to take a big old dive into the brain of a person of size, and I would say probably about 90% of people here at Square One really struggle with all or nothing thinking. The thought that I'm either 100% on my diet, or I'm 100% perfect, or I'm 100% off and I'm 100% a failure. And it's something that really has to be worked on and managed. I have a scenario for you. You get up, you start your day off perfect, you eat all the right things, you have your egg whites and your oatmeal in the morning, you drink your water, you're set out for a perfect day, you have everything planned out for the whole day, your food journaling, all of those things. And then it becomes 10 o'clock and your boss comes in the door at work and he says, "Hey guys, it's my birthday today, so I brought in some birthday cake." Now the dilemma starts. Do I have a piece of cake? Do I not have a piece of cake? It's right there. It's staring right at me. What do? I can smell it. Other people are talking about it. We should celebrate, right? What should we do? And all of a sudden the other coworkers are saying, you've got to live a little, try a little bit, everything in moderation, all of those things that we hear all the time. So you do. You have a big old slice of cake, and then that eventually leads into you thinking, God, I'm a failure for having given in. I may as well just blow off the rest of today and start again tomorrow. But do we ever start up again tomorrow? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. That's our struggle. Sometimes one bad decision like that can lead to days, weeks, months, or even sometimes years of never getting back on track and losing sight of who you really are. The problem with all or nothing thinking is that it's so closely tied to our emotions. Our behaviors and what we do are so closely tied to whether we're successful or whether we're a failure. So when we hit something in life that derails us for a moment, we assume that we are a failure. We feel like a failure for having strayed from our diet. And then it's very difficult to recollect ourselves. And then the negative thoughts just keep pouring in. You can't do this. I told you. This is more difficult. Why is this so hard? I may as well just stop dieting altogether. This isn't worth it. It can't happen for me. All of that stuff, that snowball of negativity, the negative thoughts, the doubting of whether you can really accomplish this or power through it, just starts flooding your brain, which makes it almost impossible to move forward in a positive direction. Lucky for you, there is something that you can do about all or nothing thinking. And probably the very first thing that you can do, and maybe even the most important, is label it. Understand the process of thinking that you're struggling with. It helps a lot that if you're going through something like I previously mentioned about the cake and your boss bringing in the cake, to identify it and go, okay, so I had one piece of cake, my day isn't totally ruined, and this is what I need to practice. I need to practice not giving into this temptation of all or nothing thinking. It's a very distorted way of viewing something and ultimately dangerous. The second thing to do is you want to own the damage. So if you did eat the piece of cake, how many calories could possibly be in a large piece of cake? I mean, are we talking 500, 600 calories for a large piece of cake? That's not even 0.14 pounds that you had gained. Is that really derailing everything? Is that really taking you so far off track? No, it's not, especially if you have other good habits, if you're working out and doing other things. One tiny slip up isn't enough to stress out about and feel like a complete failure. So your emotions are not justified. Just because it's a tiny slip up and you have a momentary slip does not justify thoughts and feelings of complete failure. Although at the same time, it is something that we do struggle with. So we have to make sure that it doesn't spiral into the avalanche of us eating anything we want to the rest of the day. Another thing that can be done to really counteract all or nothing thinking is create a mantra, something that you can say to yourself. My wife used to say, don't sacrifice the goal for the moment. Basically meaning, if I want to eat, that's a fleeting moment of pleasure. Don't sacrifice the larger goals for one fleeting moment of pleasure that you know is going to escape you 10 minutes after you eat it. And then the last thing after mantras is give yourself credit. If you are able to move on and not engage in eating more food for the rest of the day, give yourself credit. That's a huge change. That's exactly what we want to be working on, is that minute-to-minute willpower to overcome something such as all or nothing thinking that really does trap a lot of people trying to lose weight. So my advice to you is remember what you suffer from, all or nothing thinking, and if you do, those 4 things that you can do. Identify it, own the damage, create a mantra, and give yourself credit. This has been another Square One Update.